All right, we got another article for you guys. Again, headline being very, very malicious. But Choco, what's going on here?
Well, apparently, not only is Daisy Ridley Luke's replacement, but she's Darth Vader's replacement too.
Oh,
Which is just a, a wild statement to make. But basically, this article is trying to make the claim that if it were Rey film, as well as a potential, another trilogy where Rey could be in kind of an Obi-Wan position,
yeah,
that the amount that they're using her somehow puts her in Vader's position. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense on its on its head, because like if you say Darth Vader, then your first thought isn't the amount that they use him, it's who he is and what he represents.
yeah.
Obviously Rey's not representing that. But
She didn't even represent Luke's replacement.
why do you think people are being replaced?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know how many stories and comics you have with Luke? Like, you still have those.
But it does play into the carpet nugget narrative, which is to say it's trying to create a problem for those who feel wronged by quote unquote Disney Star Wars, and galvanize them against this movement. It's kind of like emphasize diversity.
I would say that this is overtly negative just because of the word replace. Like, that's like saying Luke was meant to replace Obi-Wan.
The terminology replaced is reductive.
Fair.
But
Fair.
there's no like raginess, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I
But
mean,
we see what you're doing.
yeah, you're not gonna get one through us. I mean, the whole editorial of this article, as Chaco mentioned, was them pointing to a lot of the projects that's coming down the pipeline that Ray could be in, and it really just kind of ridiculously posits that Ray is the new replacement for Luke and is the replacement for Vader.
One of the other things they complain about in the article as well is was the statement that Ray was the most valuable character they had. Let's
Yeah,
look at
right
to see
here.
exactly what the word was. Ray's their most valuable cinematic asset. That's what the quote was. So this is referencing the Hollywood Reporter. Let me see exactly what the Hollywood Reporter said about this.
So there's no link to any kind of article from the Hollywood Reporter, but at the same time, their citation for it says sources have said. You know how much we love sources saying. My sources said that Choco had orange juice yesterday.
I did have orange juice
Oh,
yesterday.
dang. My
That's
sources are
wild, because I,
correct.
I don't drink orange juice very often, but
It just proves that we're a dyad.
as a dyad, that means your source is you.
Exactly.
What's funny though is Ray is their most valuable cinematic asset. Like,
Yes.
she starred in 3 movies that made $4 billion. Like, that that's a big deal. I don't care whether or not you personally like the character. We have to acknowledge, certain things where we're successful. I'm not a Rise of Skywalker fan myself. I can look and I can see it 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. Which is what some people use. I think it's a terrible rating system, but it is what it is. It means just because loud and belligerent people may complain about something doesn't mean it represents the actual data that's been captured, the actual people who've watched the films, the people who are going to the parks, people we see running up and looking at Ray like that is their
Yeah.
hero.
Young
Now,
girls.
yes, those people are going to look at Ray as their Luke Skywalker, but that doesn't replace Luke Skywalker, and it doesn't remove his importance, and that's okay.
I also want to push back on that because I don't think that the new generation would look at her as their Luke Skywalker. I know
Yeah.
what you mean, but just like this subheading in the article, Rey has always been the sequel trilogy's Luke Skywalker. No, she's always been the sequel trilogy's main character. And the main character changes with each trilogy and subsequently each film, right? So we have Jyn Erso in Rogue One, we have Solo in Solo. The main character changes, and so I don't know what they're trying to do with this article by painting it as though Rey is replacing anyone, or that Luke and then Darth Vader needs to be the forefront of the entire franchise just in general. But suffice to say, no one can replace Darth Vader. No one can replace Yoda. No one can replace all of these iconic characters in Star Wars.
Go turn on Return of the Jedi. That throne room scene, like, you're not going to turn it on and it's Rey fighting Rey.
Right?
like
Rey's Star Wars future proves she's Darth Vader's... No. No matter how old this franchise gets, everyone associates Darth Vader with Star Wars. Yoda, Luke, Anakin, I'll even argue, but more so Darth Vader. No one is... I mean, I'm certain that Rey, given a lot more time to, reach a more robust catalog of stories, that she'll be a large part of Star Wars, but no one is replacing, like, if you see somebody with, like, just the silhouette of Darth Vader's helmet, you know what that is. What needs to be said is that Rey is the future of Star Wars, along with a lot of other stories. But, Mark Hamill's old now, and Hayden is getting older, and
we lost James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Things are going to continue. They're gonna move forward. Some people may want Star Wars to freeze in time and never progress, but that's not going to happen. We're still going to get stories and games and things like that with Luke.
I mean,
Those are still going to continue. We're still getting them now.
The Vader comics is still going. All we're trying to say is Rey isn't being positioned to replace anyone. Rey is just the story that's being told. But there's also a story being told in Dawn of the Jedi, Mandalorian, and Grogu, so it's kind of like weird to say she is replacing anything. There's going to be a Star Wars for everyone, and there's no replacements. Let's see what kind of impact it's had in the comments. George ruined Star Wars, selling it off to Disney. She's a pretty actress, but Rey saga and what Disney did to Luke killed Star Wars. Oh, that's another thing in this article about the editorialization. They said that they kind of bought into the whole rumor that Simon Kinberg is writing a trilogy. Yeah. They purported that she was going to be the start of a new saga all about her. A lot of these comments also miss the plot because, like, they don't even... They're not even comprehending the article.
They didn't read the article. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
Rey's not replacing Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker or any of your most iconic characters and favorite characters in Star Wars. That's what makes Star Wars Star Wars. My favorite character from Legends is Satele Shan, and, like, no matter how old it gets, no one's going to replace her for me. And same with Luke Skywalker being it flip-flops, because whenever I watched The Last Jedi, Luke is my favorite character. But overall in canon, Yoda is my favorite character. But even then, nothing they release in a future movie, whether it's Mando and Grogu or New Jedi Order or Dawn of the Jedi, is going to change their place. There might be a new character that they introduced that just completely blows me away, but
it's possible.
These characters are still there. They're still iconic Star Wars,
Listen, it's been a while, man. Like, it is almost 2025. People gotta stop crying over this stuff. It's sad. Like, it doesn't even upset anyone anymore. It's getting kind of pathetic.
Yeah, stop being so angry. If you're angry about this article, and if you really think that Rey is being positioned to replace anyone, you are in the carpet, and you are in fact a nugget, and we encourage you to get out by virtue of a vacuum or something. I don't know. Just
A vacuum, therapy, something.
just stop believing this stuff, man. Hold on to your favorites, you know. It's like we always say in this community, it's like you can like or dislike anything and have your favorites, whatever, so long as you're not, you know, raging at people in the community and turning someone's joy into sadness. That's the least we can ask. And if you can't meet that bar, I'm so sorry. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell icons, turn on notifications, do all that good stuff. Your support means a lot. We'll continue to fish out these articles and debunk them and fix any inaccuracies that we find. But we'll see you next time. May the force be with you.
Peace.